It's like deja vu. Another Friday, another cinema visit thanks to Gary. I've got to go see Miles Morales movie, which stars Spider-Man, so that should be pretty cool. He's in it, I know that. And Miles Morales is in it as well. Haven't even seen the first one. I'm seeing the second one. I don't want to see it, but I've dragged my mate today, so we're going to have to, really, aren't we? This time. This time. So we're a little bit early because my mate thought we're going to a totally different cinema. Yeah. So we're just gonna get some coffee. Okay, no psych this time. We're actually going to go, and then it fell over. We're going to this cinema this time, Gary. I'm gonna go through both doors. It's half term here and it's gonna be full of fucking kids. Go fuck yourself.
Technology. Proof is all around.
Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. My goodness, does it feel like summer? There isn't a cloud in the sky today. The cheeks are a little bit rosé. Yeah, that orange orb in the sky doing its work. And I went to the cinema and saw a pretty good movie. Yes, Into the Spider-Verse cometh. This is the second time we're going into the Spider-Verse. Multiverse of Spiders. Whatever this bloody movie's called, because I don't actually really know. It was not too bad at all. Sure, I had some issues with it, and we'll go into those, but I got quite a few positive things to say about it as well. Well, this makes a change, doesn't it?
Miles! Want to get out of here?
Firstly, let's start off with the good stuff. I personally thought the animation style was incredible. I thought it's absolutely fantastic. I like the way that it changed constantly throughout the course of the film, depending on the mood of the scene, the emotion going on in the scene, and also which universe you were in. The art style would differ, and so would the characters as well, depending on which universe they came from. So aesthetically, it was just a really beautiful film to look at.
We are supposed to be the good guys.
We are.
From a character's perspective, both Miles Morales and also Gwen Stacy, I thought were very well written indeed. They were relatable characters, they acted their age, they had teenage angst, and they had issues that come with family and, of course, their powers. And they also had great chemistry together as well. When those two were on the screen, the movie flowed very well indeed because the movie is somewhat extended. Yes, you could have cut quite a few of the family stuff out, and I don't think it would have suffered too much. I think we had a little bit too much of Miles's parents. We kind of got the message. Miguel, who was one of the antagonists of the movie, or seemingly so anyway, he had a rocky start because he had to be emasculated a little bit in order to push the pregnant Jessica Drew, who was by far the worst character in the film. Absolutely abysmal. And a pregnant Spider-Woman is just as stupid as it sounds. It translates to a woman who's absolutely reckless and irresponsible and doesn't care about the safety of her unborn child. It's not remotely empowering. It's daft. But let's go on to Spot, who is the antagonist, the main one of this film. And that was very well done indeed. He starts off as a bit of a clown.
Give me your money.
So are you like a cow or a Dalmatian?
Spider-Man.
A bit of a extra and something just for Spider-Man to toy and play with to make us all think he's great and wonderful. But as the film progresses, so does this character. And by the end of the movie, they are in a very different place. It's great to see a villain actually having growth. And it's great to see a villain that is portrayed somewhat as a joke early on, certainly coming across as a threat and a major threat at the end.
You have a choice between saving one person and saving every world. To me, that's an obvious choice.
Having not seen the original, I don't know how they portrayed Peter Parker, but in this, he's a bit of a clown and a bit of a joke. He's walking around with a pink robe and pink female slippers on while babysitting his daughter. It comes across again as rather stupid and emasculated, and let's just say this movie does seem to have a bit of an issue with white guys.
Did you bring our baby to another fight?
I knew I was gonna regret making her that web shooter. You asked me not to, so I wouldn't.
As regards to the main brunt of the storyline, it revolves around Miguel and his futuristic group of spidery people, spodery people, as they try and repair incursions in the multiverse. Yes, it does sound a little bit like Loki, apart from this isn't boring as shit and absolute dog crap. No, it's relatively interesting as to what's going on with these multiverse incursions, and when all the story fits into place and revelations are made, then you do begin to understand more the motivations of certain characters. It all makes sense. And with, of course, Miles and Gwen, in my opinion, being very likable characters and pushing the narrative forward, with a good, strong showing from Miguel once he gets his rough beginning out of the way, it does make for an interesting story. I do think, however, it is slightly bloated. There are things which could be cut out, and a movie that runs at approximately 2 hours and 10 minutes long, it certainly could have done with trimming a good 20 minutes off that runtime, and I don't think we would have in any way been incapacitated as to what they were trying to say. It needed to have a little bit more discipline in that regard. Another major positive for me was the soundtrack. There were some excellent music pieces in this film, really married together well with the action, the tone, the mood of the character, and it helped the movie get its whole atmosphere and ambience. It was the first time in a long time with a Marvel product that I actually felt as if it had some artistry to it. It felt like there was genuine care and attention in putting it together and how things should feel and how things should flow and how things should sound, as opposed to the conveyor belt of shite that we've had from Marvel since the beginning of Phase 4 with their live-action movies.
I can hear you being quiet, Mom.
I hope I didn't ice your game, man.
No one my age says those words in that order.
As regards to negatives, I've got to calls it how I sees it. There did seem to be a concerted effort to put as few white people in this film as possible, particularly white men. Every white man was portrayed as a joke, from Peter and his emasculation through to Ben Reilly, who had this over-exaggerated angst about him. And if it was attempting to be comical, it certainly didn't hit the mark with me. And for a 10:30 showing in the morning, my theatre was about a third full, which was pretty decent, I thought. And there wasn't that many chuckles to be had, just the odd one here or there. Other than that, yes, the extended runtime could have been trimmed down. And yes, I did think they dwelled a little bit too much on the parents of Miles. But, you know, how often do we complain about not building characterization? And here we are, they gave us plenty of it, perhaps a little bit too much. Other than that, I didn't really have too many more gripes. The film itself was very pleasant to watch. It was enjoyable, and I was engaged with what was going on at the screen. And I didn't even really need to have seen the first film to understand what was going on here, as it did provide a recap in a very clever way, shall we say. So if you haven't seen the first movie and you're off to see this, I don't think you'll be too much at a disadvantage either. And even though I've had my fill of multiverses, this handled it very well indeed, and there's some really nice cameos in this film as well that I do think is going to put smiles on faces. One in particular put the biggest smile on me, and I actually gave it a little bit of a pop. Not too loud, of course, because I was in a theatre full of kiddies watching this movie. As mentioned earlier, this is one of the best things, if not the best thing, since Phase 4 began. But of course, this is also a Sony product and not a Disney Marvel product. So once again, just like No Way Home, the best Marvel stuff is currently coming from Sony, which may or may not be a surprise to some of you. So all in all, yes, having a couple of gripes about the film, the positives vastly outweighed the negatives for me, and I did have an enjoyable experience. And watching this is going to make me go and watch the first movie. So I do highly recommend going out and watching Miles Spider... What is this called? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'll see you in the next video. You take care. Bye for now. Hi, Sony? Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I did it. yeah. Just directly into PayPal would be great. All right. Cheers now. Yeah, I love you too. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.